Okay, here we are. We will just get our cassava peeled. This is how you do this. Once you cut them in smaller pieces, it's easy to get off. So then you just cut this in half or quarters instead of the side. And here, you just do the same here and get that skin off. And it's pretty easy once it's in a smaller piece, a smaller size. Just cut them in smaller sizes and you can get them all, all cut up. So these are the skins you discard those, and then you go to your rudder. See how it's nice and white in there? That's what you're looking for. Because once it starts, if it gets dark in there or has any color, you might be having a bad cassava, and it will not boil the way it will not boil soft. It's going to be very I think stringy or tough. It's not going to boil like as it should anyway. So avoid the ones that have that. If you see it starts to get a little stringy in there, or the color, maybe a darker color or something. Yeah. Okay. So we'll continue with this, and I have my water is already coming to a very strong boil over there. So we're going to move and we're going to put these in there along with our potatoes. Now the potatoes are going to take a shorter time than the yuca, than the cassava. So you have to watch that. So the potatoes maybe 5 minutes or so, and the yuca maybe about 10 to 15. But you just need to keep checking on it. And once those are done, then we'll move to the next step. So I'm just peeling the potatoes off here, and we'll put them all in the pot. Salted water, at least it has to get some flavor, some initial flavor, because you're going to be seasoning the crushed stuff also. So we'll put these in our pot and we'll be back. Now we just got my fresh seasonings that I put in there, that I put into the cassava and the potato to season those. Cut these up really small, and you don't need a lot of it either. I just use like half an onion. And obviously you're going to cook this up before you add it to the mixture. You're going to cook this up before you add it to the mixture. And you can add other stuff in here. If you need some color, you can probably add some bell pepper. You know, add some bell pepper to it to give it a little bit of color. We'll probably try that. Just add a few pieces of really diced really finely some bell pepper. I'm gonna dice that up a little smaller than that. A little bit of the green. If you had some scallion, you can use 2 sticks of scallion instead of the parsley and the cilantro. So use 2 sticks of salmon, but I didn't have any 2 sticks of scallion. Sorry, I didn't have any scallion, so I used. That's why I used the white onion to give it that oniony flavor, and I used some cilantro. Okay. For the amount, I don't know. Maybe I need another little. I need half, the other half of the onion, depending on the amount. I think it's going to be a little much, so we're going to use this. This is going to be all sauteed up, and I'll see if I need all. If I don't need all of it, I just, you know, set it aside, keep it for another dish. So. Let's get a piece of bell pepper, and we can add some color in there, right? Okay, so let's use a little piece of yellow and a little piece of red. So we'll just take the membranes out. And don't need a lot of it. I don't think I need all that, but you cut it into fine strips and then turn it on the other side, and you cut it into other fine strips. You get a little fine dice. That's what you get. Right? If you want, you can run your knife through it a little more, but it has to go under the fire anyway. So. Make sure we get okay, so now we have all our seasonings cut up. Let's move over and see what the boiling water is doing. I mean, with the eggs and everything else. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna crush our potato and yuca mixture. Crush it into flour. potato crusher. I'm sure this could also be done on the in a food processor, but it's quicker, less cleanup, you know. Just make sure it's at a very powdery consistency, because we're going to be still adding the seasonings into here. Okay, this looks good. Just make sure there are no lumps, no large lumps in there. Because if they are, you're going to get some problems when you're trying to wrap the eggs in it. Alright. So just stir it all up, and if you feel any of those large lumps, just put them, get them to the top and get them crushed. Okay, so I'm going to go through, just make sure that everything is good and it's at the consistency, the smooth consistency that I want, floury consistency, and then we'll add our seasonings to it. So what I decided to do is use my food processor and incorporate all my seasonings in there with the potato and the cassava mixture. So here we are. This is my food processor. I have it already in there. Now we're going to add the other stuff to it. I'm going to add some, I just love my heat, so I add a little bit of cayenne pepper. Just a little bit of cayenne pepper, maybe about a half a teaspoon. About a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Got to get a salt content, so just add about a half a teaspoon of maybe 1 teaspoon of bullion powder, like 1 teaspoon of complete seasoning, some garlic powder, maybe a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, because you have some fresh garlic in there already. And to this, we'll add our red bell pepper, the half of a red bell pepper, the yellow pepper, right, the yellow bell pepper, all of my onion, get the onion in there, and a hot pepper. The hot peppers will go in there. I got 2 hot peppers in there. These little myri little things, but they're really hot. So some green seasoning, and also some cilantro. Okay, so we got that all in there. Once we've got this all in here, we can cover this and start to pulse. Okay, so let's get the cover on here. There you go. And if you think it needs water, because what I did, I saved some of the water that the cassava and the potato was boiling in. I saved some of that. If I do need some to lighten this up a little with some water, I can use that water. Okay, so we'll just let okay. Let's see. We may need a little bit of liquid in here so that we can. Oh, it has a nice consistency right now. But it's just not working with the. I think that's good. I don't need to add any water. I think that's excellent. Let's let it skin a little bit more. Yeah, I think we're good. We're good. We don't need to add any water or anything, because you need that pasty consistency so they can stick to the eggs, and then you're going to fry that. So, hey, so we'll go to the next step. I'll be back. So here we are. We're going to fry some balls, some cassava balls here. This is the mixture that we came up with in the food processor, right? Do we need more light, or we have enough light? Maybe we have enough light. Yeah, this is the mixture. Just damp your hands because it's going to stick in your hands. So you want to make a ball first, and you take your egg and you place it in the center there, cover it over, and make another ball, and just round it off a little. Round it off a little. Keep your hands damp. Keep your hands a little damp here. And just round this off a little. Then you could drop it in there. And we just round it off. Just cover it over, cover the egg over, round it off a little, and clap it in there. Damp hands. Make a little ball, stick our egg in there. Make another little, just round it off, and you drop it in there. So now we're going to look at these guys, see how they're doing. This was number one. Turn him over, he's already brown. Doesn't take long. Doesn't take long at all. You just want it nice and golden brown, or a little darker. It all depends on your taste, your choice. This is a wonderful, wonderful snack. You have that whole egg in there, that boiled egg, and then it's covered with the yuca or the cassava with potato and the seasoning. When you bite into that, it's so decadent and delicious. I remember lunchtime at school when I was a kid. So we let this go, and it's about 2 minutes on each side before you can turn it over, depending on how your stove works. But I would say give it about 2 minutes on each side. Once you put it in, and you should be good to go. It should be nice and crisp, and get that color that you're looking for. Okay. So I'll finish the rest, and then you'll come back and see the finished product. I'll slice one open, and you'll see what our labors produce. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back. So here we are, guys. This is the finished product. The egg balls. It's covered with with cassava and potato, a cassava potato mix, and you just wrap the boiled eggs in there, and then you fry that mix. These are my two favorite condiments: hot pepper and mango chutney. So we'll just cut into these guys and see what they look like, and have a taste test. Wow. Okay. Great. Look at this. See, the egg is well done. It's all cooked all the way in. Inside is cooked, and you can just either use your fork or just dunk it in there, or use a knife. Cut it again, and then you bring this up, and this in the hot sauce and the mango chutney. Oh my goodness, this is going to be delicious. Hi. Awesome. Okay, so I hope you try this recipe. It's very simple, hardly anything to do. You mix those two, cassava and the potato, you wrap it all together, and you fry it. Boil your eggs way ahead of time, and you got it. The kids can come home to a nice snack. You can go out on a picnic with a nice snack. Guys taking a little drink and stuff like that. You can. It's awesome. It's versatile. So, see you in the next clip. Like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.